What makes people tick? I have no idea. I really don't even know. Just kidding. I do know. But how do we understand others? That's key. If we understand how people tick, how they think and perceive the world, we're going to get a lot better understanding of them, and consequently, we'll understand ourselves a lot better. So in today's video, we're going to take you on a course of understanding why people do what they do and all that good, juicy stuff about human behavior. Stay with me. In today's video, we're going to talk about the things that make up your identity, your temperament, personality, and all those kinds of things, and lead you down a path where you're going to understand your personality better so you can identify what makes you tick and therefore what makes other people tick. Someone's identity is based on just a multitude of factors. It's about your personality, which is your temperament, and how you view the world. It's about the culture that you were brought up in, the family you were raised in, the geography of where you were raised in, whether you were raised in the Bronx, New York, or New Guinea, or Pakistan, or wherever that happens to be. All that plays a factor in terms of who you are as an identity. But for today, we're talking about temperament and personality styles because that directly impacts the way that you see and view the world, how you communicate with others, and how you receive communication from others. And so I can divide the world into two kinds of people, those folks who are outgoing and those folks who are reserved. Outgoing people never met a stranger in their lives. I mean, they're out super excited about everything, enthusiastic, optimistic, full of energy, passion, enthusiasm. Those reserved people, while they are enthusiastic about some things, they really don't show it. They're more controlled in their gestures. They're thinkers. They're kind of slower in terms of their pace of how they get involved, and they're slow to speak up because they want to make sure they're right and they don't offend anyone. So when we're talking about outgoing versus reserved people, we're talking about your motor or your pace. An outgoing person, man, they move fast, they think fast, they talk fast. They're a mile a minute. Think about a car example would be a Porsche. Shoom, flying down the road, 911 with a big fat whale tail, shoom, going 0 to 60 in 3.7 or whatever it is. It's really, really fast. They're going and thinking all the time. Their mantra is, man, I can sleep when I'm dead. I got things to do. Let's go. And that's a wonderful behavior to have. Those reserved people, think about them as like a Toyota Prius. Just kind of bebopping down the road. It's not going to go 0 to 60 very fast. Not going to go very fast overall. Not going to accelerate very fast, but once it gets going, really dependable. Right down the road. Never going to go too fast, never too slow. Very even keeled. And it's a beautiful, beautiful behavior to exhibit. But I can also divide the world into those folks who are people-oriented and task-oriented. We'll explain that in a second. People-oriented folks are all about emotions and caring and sharing and relationships. I mean, they're the ones who are crying during the emotional movies, and I'm one of those kind of people. I listen to cheesy 80s love songs. I love them. I mean, you name it, from Carrie to Alone by Heart. I'm the cheesy 80s guru dude. So from that perspective, we're all about caring and sharing of our emotions and our feelings with others. But those task-oriented folks, they're all about getting things done with function and form and processes and procedures and organization. Very black and white in how they think. The folks on the people-oriented side, they tend to be a little more gray because they have a greater sense of empathy for others. They know things are going to happen from people to time, and so that affects execution. Folks on this other side, task-oriented, they expect execution in spite of the circumstances. So what makes people tick and how do people think and feel? Well, it all goes back to this model. So let's revisit it. In this upper corner, we have our outgoing and task-oriented people. Those are our high Ds. Those people never met a challenge they couldn't face. No is just another question towards getting a yes. Pound through. Let's overcome these hurdles and obstacles. I want to be in charge. Raw. Those I people, though, man, they're all about the fun. They're outgoing and people-oriented. They don't need to go to a party. They are a party. They can sit there and high-five people on a plane, go around jamming the music, getting people up and excited. That's what they're all about. S's, those are our supportive and reserved type. Reserved, people-oriented type. They've never met a stranger because they're great listeners. People sit down beside them and start talking. They'll go, oh yeah, oh gosh, that's terrible. What did you do next? So they're super listeners. They'll give you the shirt off their back, take care of you at any point in time. Then you've got their high Cs. Those are our cautious types. They're reserved but task-oriented. They're all about form and processes and procedures and analytics. And they're all about calculations and being consistent, super high intrinsically motivated people. They believe in doing things right the first time because they can't sleep at night unless they do that kind of thing. So how do we tick? How do we function? How do we know one another? Well, it's because we're all varying degrees of all of these attributes. I've got a little bit of D in me. I got a ton of I because I'm 100 on 100 scale of I. I've got a 92 out of 100 in S, and my C is a 12. I'm not very organized. I just don't do well at spreadsheets. But can I do spreadsheets? Of course I can. But it takes a lot of energy for me to do those. So when we're talking about an energy transferal, people-oriented versus task, where are you getting your energy from? For me as a people person, I get that energy from others, being around others, being involved with others, going and playing pickleball, doing things like that. Task-oriented people, they get their energy from completing tasks, getting things done, checking off boxes on that to-do list. That gives them a sense of accomplishment and a sense of worth. So understanding yourself is key. Where do you fit in this puzzle of dispersonality styles? Well, again, you have a little bit of each one of these in you. And so to really understand yourself, you need to go take an assessment. There's tons of them online. I have assessments as well. If you look in the description below, you'll see a link to my store where you can purchase assessments for yourself and others. We have children's, teens, we have leadership assessments, we have fitness assessments, all kinds of good stuff. But what this will do for you is this will provide insights into exactly how you're wired. What's your temperament like? And this will give you a nice 6-page tool for understanding, okay, these words describe me. Yep. And these things are up to 95% accurate. So they're very, very useful in terms of what they do. They'll give you your strengths, your weaknesses, your blind spots, but even better, with your significant other, your spouse, your mom, your dad, brother, sister, they'll give you a tangible piece of evidence and a piece of discussion material that you can put in front of someone. Hey, do y'all think this fits me? And it creates a really wonderful discussion about this self-discovery. But here's what I found out about myself. I'd love to learn more about you. So if you really want to transform the way you communicate, if you really want to reduce conflict in your relationships, whether they be at work, at home, in organizations, churches, you name it, get yourself an assessment, have others in your circle take an assessment, and that's going to build a relationship, generate a conversation, and transform the way you communicate. I'll see you in the next video.